For our day today, we're playing We're Not Really Strangers. How I understand it, there's like 3 tiers and like they just kind of get more thought provoking as it goes on. Crystal's just gonna like feed us questions and then we're just gonna go from there.
So my first question for the both of you is, do you think that the other person was popular in high school?
My perception of you is that maybe you were like friends with everybody, but undercover low key. Do you know what I mean? Isn't like the star of the basketball team, but like everyone knows that person is. That's kind of the impression I got of you.
I think everybody did know me, but at the same time, I was the only black male in my grade.
Oh,
so
wow.
like everybody knew me because I stuck out. My guess for you is I definitely think you were popular. You definitely give off like the vibe to somebody who just like everybody likes and gravitates towards. I don't think you were like the mean it girl clique.
So now it's on to our first wild card. You're gonna write down something the other person would never guess about you, just by looking at you and compare them.
All right, cool. I got one.
I was a 90s hippie in high school.
I was definitely like a burnout in high school. 90s hippie, just listened to A Tribe Called Quest all day. I wore like these big floral print shirts. I actually have one in my closet that I could show to you that like I still keep around just to remind me of those days.
I feel like my personality on social media, especially because I feel like people are really judgmental of girls / like girls on Instagram, like people that post a lot. Like I feel like I'm really self-conscious about appearing really vapid on the internet. From what I post on the internet, like you really kind of want to be able to tell that like I deeply care about a lot of things. I'm like deeply empathetic. I'm really smart. People spend like 2 seconds looking at like everybody's post, but like can formulate a really lasting opinion on somebody based off what they post on the internet. I've definitely tried to more and more diversify the things I talk and post about. Nobody would know that you care about this or like think about this because you never talk about it. So like talk about things. Yeah.
That's a really good point. That's something that like I think about too. There's so many things that like I'm very interested in, but I never have conversations about. Yeah, it's a jarring feeling to experience.
What is the worst assumption someone has made about you?
In the town that like I went to high school in, it was a predominantly white town. So in terms of like worst assumption that people made about me, I think frequently was along like racial lines, making like certain assumptions based on, you know, color of my skin.
I was gonna say something else, but then you saying that, like now I'm changing my answer. And it's like partially the media's fault, I feel like, because there's this like very monolithic expression of blackness. It's really weird because I feel like you are who you are as a kid, and then people tell you who you're supposed to be. Like I say to my friends all the time, like I didn't realize I was like black until I went to my high school. I always knew I was black, but like I was like, my family were the only black people I knew. So it's more so like I didn't understand like the conception of like blackness until I was playing in an environment with like a lot of white people, like a lot of international people, because there were lots of people from different countries and like black people too. So like dealing with how each different group of people perceived and like conceptualized blackness, I was like, whoa, like I just thought I was Noelle. Like, what is this, you know?
What is your first love's name? And what is the reason you fell in love with them?
So I would say the reason that I think I thought I was in love with that person is because that person made me feel like I could be still. I'm not like a person that would prefer stillness, but like that was a person that I was just like, okay, I can relax. Feeling was so high that it was like euphoric, kind of almost like a feeling of I've never felt this stimulated before. That's literally how people talk about drugs.
The reason that I fell for them was that like they were one of the very few people and probably the only person like outside of my family who I felt like full acceptance and full comfort to be myself. I felt like I fully accepted that person as well.
That was definitely like a much healthier answer than mine. I was like, because this person felt like drugs.
I have only had one like really toxic relationship. She egged my house. I'm still salty about that. Outside of it, I feel like it was more so surface level.
This question kind of connects to the question I just asked, but how did you get over your first love?
I, in high school, had a really toxic relationship that was like 4 years long. And then I like met the exact same person, and it was the same like relationship for years long. Not like they were never my boyfriend, but like just relationship. So I feel like I never fully got, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. You know how like the world will show you like the same lesson over again until you learn it. So I feel like I wasn't really able to like conceptualize the first relationship I was in till I was in the relationship with like the second person. I had to be like, whoa, okay, like I need to take a step back. I need to look at everything very clearly. Why is this happening? It's really easy in situations to kind of like victimize yourself. And I feel like I don't think I ever walked around like I'm a victim, but I never like critically thought about why the same things were happening over and over again. I got over the first person, who was basically the second person, like all of them at once, because I was able to like recognize that you have a pattern, take accountability for like the choices that you're making. I was always looking for the good thing. People can have good qualities, but also treat you really poorly, and like they shouldn't be a part of your life too. With completely bad people, it's easy to cast them away and be like, you suck. But it's harder when there's a situation with more nuance, when it's like, yeah, they're really good at this one thing and make me feel really great in this way, but they also make me feel really, really, really bad in this way. You don't need to like hold on to the good just like, and discard the bad just because you want that feeling so bad. Like find that within yourself. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase like, if you're at 80 and somebody gives you 20 out of 100, like their 20 makes you feel like a full person, but like you need to be at 100. So like you're better at like discerning if somebody actually deserves space in your life. And for like so long, I didn't feel fully complete as a person. And like, I was totally like, this person can make me feel like 100. I need to be 100 at myself so that like, I'm not taking somebody who's 50 or 60, you know, like who's going to be the whipped cream and cherry on top. Like that's what I'm looking for. So that was my whole like big awakening.
I honestly really like the way that you just said that, you know, it wasn't necessarily just getting over that person, it was getting over like this group of people, or like this type or this like specific trait that you're attracted to. When it comes to, I guess, really getting over somebody, it's not just the person, it's getting over like what attracted you to that person, like why you stuck around or whatever, you know? For me, like it hit a point where I was like, okay, there's certain things that like I really want in life, you know? Yeah. And they are things that like I can't get with this person. And if I were to ignore these things for this person, then I feel like deep down I would have that regret. There are just other things in life that I really want and I want to experience. So I want to chase after it. Yeah.
I want you guys to admit something to each other.
Okay.
Do however you want.
I'm also like, what do I want to admit to you? And also like the thousands of people that are watching.
I think the thing that I need to admit is that I didn't join the show to win. But like I joined more so because I was like, if I can make a connection with somebody, like you're on a dating app and like, let's go out for drinks like immediately. Like that's what I really want to like learn or find right now. And like, if I interact with this girl who's obviously gorgeous and obviously like really cool, and like there is a connection there, then that's an awesome bonus. For me, the initial goal was like, I want to meet someone and like, see how it goes.
No, that's like so fair, and honestly the most like normal response I've heard. I guess, okay, like I can admit like my reason for doing this. So like a lot of people have asked me like, why did you do this? Is this some vanity project, Noelle? And I feel like there were a lot of reasons why. One, I'm like a very like random person in the sense of like, I'll get an idea randomly and I'll just be like, okay, yeah, I just want to do that, just like to see if I can do it. So there was that part. I haven't talked to guys in a really long time, and you've like watched my YouTube videos, so you probably like can glean this, and you've probably seen like my things online, whatever. I was assaulted 2 years ago, so I like stopped dating. Crystal kind of talked about it, I think in episode 0, where she like brought up the concept of like agency and like being able to feel in control. So I was like, this is totally like a circumstance where like I can date and it can be fun, but like I have more control, rather than like if I go out on a date with a guy, there's not as much control as I can have. And then like the third reason is just like, I like want to work in TV. So let's do what Issa Rae does. Like, let's just make our own stuff. So yeah. Yeah, that was great. I had such a good time. That was honest. I love when people can be honest with each other. So that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, this is really nice. Like, I feel like I got a chance to like, actually get to know you a bit better. So this is
Yes.
cool.
We'll
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hello, Shel. So this was your first one-on-one date. So did you feel any type of way when she told you about getting a solo date, or?
For one, I'm happy that I got picked, and like I'm really happy after that conversation.
Do you feel differently about Noelle after the one-on-one? Do you feel closer? Do you feel less close? Like, how do you?
I definitely feel closer. This is a human being. This is a person who I feel like we can actually hang out and chill and like see some spot in their city and like have a good time.
What were your expectations for this date versus how it went?
I thought the game was gonna be more of a game. It was, like I still had a great time with it.
Final question: are there any like last remarks you want to make about Noelle, how you're feeling about her now, how you're feeling about the competition now?
I think I'm at a point where like as a person, take out the romantic, take out the attraction. Like as a person, I think she's a solid person.
Okay, so honestly, it is not often, I think, where people can be that honest. He wasn't trying to filter himself like at all, actually. And I really appreciated that because it was easier to meet him where he was and to like in turn be more genuine and authentic with him because he was showing that with me. Most people that know me or follow me on Instagram kind of know about like everything that's happened in the past 2 years. And I wanted to bring it up in episode 0 because me being assaulted in 2019 was like a really big shift to my dating life and how I interacted with men. And I feel like was one of the biggest reasons why I made this show. But I made the choice to like not mention it because I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was important or relevant. But I think in the conversation with Shel, because he was being so honest with me, I felt like I wanted to it wasn't like he deserved honesty, but like it was just that was a moment where I felt like this seems like a moment where I can be honest. It's cool to know that we kind of have like similar backgrounds and could like share those funny stories, but then also relate on like more serious moments about like past relationships and like our relationship to our race and like how that's impacted the way we viewed ourselves. Yeah, no, I felt like it was a really good conversation. And actually, like, I'm feeling kind of like inquisitive now. And I think I need to definitely reflect more about how I feel about it.